Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your Saturn special horoscope covering Saturn's move into the sign of Sagittarius at the very end of 2014 for the better part of the next 3 years. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Saturn moving into a new sign does suggest that all of us in some way are going to understand that our most important learning is going to come if we pay attention to the lessons that we are being called to, if we pay attention, if we act practical, and if we put in the time to gain tangible results. Saturn, ultimately, it is my belief, and a lot of astrologers out there do believe, that Saturn is reward. Saturn needn't be difficult. Even though he gets a pretty bad rap, Saturn is saying manifest and honor the fact that we are incarnated. Honor the physical plane. And this is going to be a big lesson for all of us in some way. Saturn, as he moves to the sign of Sagittarius, will be speaking with Jupiter and Neptune and Uranus as well. All of this does speak to this call to be honest with ourselves, to put in the time, and to practically manifest, to move beyond what might be a dream, even a pipe dream, and actually do the work so that we gain something very valuable in the process, self-respect, which is ultimately what Saturn is truly about. Now, I have created a special video to look at Saturn, how Saturn moving into Sagittarius is going to speak to us collectively. But this video is, of course, for your sign. I thank you so much for being here. And I thank all of you out there who've been requesting these videos for months. Thank you so much for your trust in my interpretation of the sky. It will be a great transit. I do believe that. And it will be a great move as Saturn moves through the sign of Sagittarius. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous Gemini. Thank you for being here. Saturn is moving into your opposite sign, and as regular friends and fans know, the opposite sign is about what you are attracting into your life and tends to play itself out more often than not in the context of relationships and partnerships. It's about coming to see yourself differently as reflected in the eyes of another. Whether this is a business partnership or it is an actual sort of romantic situation, this is a situation that becomes very, very likely. In fact, very deep inside, you know that some of your most important learning is going to happen by paying attention to your romantic situation and paying attention to your partnerships in general, and especially where it comes to your romantic partnerships. So there are a few different ways, of course, with energies. There are a few different ways that they can play out as part of expressing a core lesson. For you, first and foremost, it becomes about you looking at what you are attracting into your life and the people that you've attracted into your life. And in the context of love, of course, if you are in an established bond, this becomes a time when you got to work on that relationship. And especially when I look at what's taking place in 2015 into 2016, it becomes very much about looking at where it is that your expectations might have been overinflated, but where ultimately they are not. And I gotta be honest here. You know, I'm always going to be honest with you, always. even when it's not so easy to say, even when I find a way to say it that empowers you, it's always, always honest. And I gotta say, I mean, I look at Neptune speaking with Saturn. I look at Jupiter speaking with Saturn. And to me, this is about you being very honest and being very ethical. And so this is something you are going to have to watch as well. But also, you know, I'm very much of the belief that people reveal who they are. And if you're honest with yourself, you know what it is that's happening, what it is that another person is showing you about who they are. And if you are one of those people who's been very jealous, who doesn't have a lot of trust, this is you having to face that within yourself, how it is that you maybe are not honest with yourself, how you maybe deceive yourself, how it is maybe that you allow your own fears to color the reality of the situation and how it might be hurting your relationship. But this can also play out in terms of you not wanting to see how maybe another person is not being very honest with you, or how maybe you might be trying to make a certain relationship into something other than what it actually is. Where it is maybe that you are allowing yourself to say it's much more ideal than it is, or where it is maybe that you know things aren't totally on the up and up. Maybe it's you that wants a deeper commitment, but you know that this is not a place that you're getting it. These are all going to be areas of focus that come up for you. Is it you that's not seeing things correctly, or is it you not wanting to see things correctly? Is it you that is projecting things onto this person that are not fair for good or worse? Are you thinking that this person is deceiving you when it's very clear that this person is not? Or are you not wanting to see where deception might be happening? All of these are going to be coming up for you to learn from. And the thing with Saturn is you can't really get away with anything, especially where it comes to not being honest with yourself. It's about being honest. It's about taking an honest stock about where you are so that you can move yourself in a direction that's a lot more tangible and that's real ultimately. And so if you are in a situation where you're not getting the love that you really want and that you know you deserve, then it becomes about, is it because of you or is it because of somebody else? If you are not currently in an established bond, if there's somebody that you're sort of dating but they're not actually a partner to you yet, this is going to be a move towards locking it down, if you will. There's going to be this move towards, putting a ring on it, locking it down, feeling like, okay, I've got to make a deeper commitment. It seems like the right thing to do. Let's move in this certain direction. It may kick up a lot of fears. It might feel a little uncertain at first. But I have to say, when it's right, and you can feel it. Those of you who are currently not in an established bond, when Saturn moves through your opposite sign, you pretty much always meet someone. Like pretty much as soon as you've energetically let go of one person, there's someone else there. And that's because the big lesson is don't stay out of fear. Don't stay with anybody out of fear. You stay, you learn what you need to, and wherever it is that you are, you're going to see what you've attracted and what it says about you that you've attracted this person. And this whole idea of you getting carried away, not wanting to see the reality of the situation, is very strong at the beginning of this transit. However, I do want to say that Saturn is stability and it's long term, okay? Yes, at the beginning of this transit, first year and a half, not the easiest vibration with Saturn speaking with Neptune and Jupiter. However, once we get to the end of 2016 and into 2017, Saturn is speaking with Uranus in supreme harmony, as I spoke about in the overview video. And this to me says, if you are currently not with somebody, if you're not married even, right, this could be meeting that person. This could be meeting somebody and very quickly, things moving very, very quickly and knowing that this is it for you. And so don't let maybe some of the challenges that come up in the beginning sway you from believing in love, because ultimately that's going to be part of the lesson. But that believing in love has to be grounded in something real and authentic. It has to be grounded in something that is truly honest. And where it isn't, you are going to be honest with yourself about where that might not be the case. There's also an element here, again, with this particular conversation of things just moving and, again, locking it down in a very quick way. And so if you're dating somebody, or again, you aren't with somebody, if you're dating somebody, this could be, again, eloping. This could be, okay, let's do this. Let's move it along. I now see you for better or worse. So let's make it official. But this can also go the way if you've been with somebody and you know it's not the right relationship for you. This is you realizing that and saying, you know what, there's got to be something better out there, and I'm going to make a solid choice because I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life. And then making that choice, in some cases, all of a sudden having the epiphany that this ain't it. This isn't what you're going for. And that in turn opens you up to actually meeting somebody else and having experiences that put you on a much more solid path. With this transit, with Saturn's move through your opposite sign, it ultimately is about you understanding yourself in the context of love and in the context of relationship. It's such a big part of this transit, in that sharing and that understanding that what you see reflected back should be something really, really good. And sometimes those lessons don't come about easily. They come about by you attracting people, not really seeing who they are honestly, and then later on down the line you going, oh wow, okay, that's who you are. Oh my God, I really don't want you, by realizing that it was you that was projecting all along. However, where it is right, that will be made very clear as well, and it will be made much more solid. If you are in an established bond, it might feel your partner's doing some things or going through some things that aren't very clear, that are kind of confusing. And I got to say again, as I said, I'll always be honest with you, there's an element here that does have to do with maybe your partner going through some depression or some disappointments, and you are going to have to figure out how and what's a healthy way for you to support and what is not as well. Maybe a partner overindulging, and this is going to be a call for you to look at how are they overindulging in escapist behaviors, where it is that you're enabling or facilitating that, and how it is that you can help that be a healthier situation as well. In a business alliance, all these lessons come up as well, where your business, you're going to have to really look at how it is that you're benefiting with this person in terms of your business. And I gotta say again that, you know, with Jupiter and Neptune doing this thing in the beginning, this could be a business partner not being honest with you, so you want to watch that. Or it could be you as well, not being honest with yourself or not being honest with them as well. And you're not going to be able to get away with it. People don't really get away with a lot or anything when Saturn comes along here. So if that is the case, it's going to be about you being honest with yourself first and foremost as you move forward. But for all that, it is about you coming to a more solid understanding of who you're going to align with to move your life in a more stable and strong direction. You could meet somebody who ends up being an amazing partner in business in the later part of 2016 and in 2017 as well. So be open to lots of different types of people, because you meeting that right person and it just clicks and the two of you work together so wonderfully to create great prosperity for each other becomes very strongly indicated, becomes that much more likely. This part of the sky, while it does have to do with relating, I can't emphasize it enough. At the end of the day, it's about you. It's about you. It's about you looking at yourself. It's about you seeing yourself differently. And it's about you seeing yourself as somebody who deserves love, who deserves respect, and who deserves to have something that makes you feel stable and strong, not something that makes you feel uncertain or woozy or you know, not balanced, or, you know, makes you feel like you're on some sort of emotional roller coaster. That just isn't going to do, and it's going to exhaust you. Especially, again, Jupiter, Neptune speaking with this Saturn in the beginning, that will just end up feeling absolutely depleting and exhausting. And so part of the lesson here is going to be to align with people and look at why you might be attracting people who introduce an element of chaos and feeling like they're draining you. But once you get clear on those lessons, you're going to find yourself attracting relationships and experiences that are a lot healthier, that have healthy boundaries, and in fact, really help you manifest things in you that you like very much, that help you feel a sense of freedom and empowerment and lightness, the kind that you just haven't known before. Well, thank you so much for watching this Saturn special for your sign, Gemini. It'll be a great transit. Enjoy.